Don't try to be another Cartier-Bresson. Be better.
Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Photography Radio. My name is Tomasz, and today you are listening to Beyond the Frame with Olaf Sztaba, where he challenges you to take visual risks and think differently about your photography. Honest, bold, and unapologetic. Typical Olaf. Enjoy.
Can you imagine your life without photography? No? Then you will love this show. And it doesn't matter if you're a DSLR, a mirrorless, or a mobile phone shooter. We're here to help your photography grow. This is Photography Radio.
One, two, three, one. Okay, I have never done this before, and I have to admit that I'm stressed out about recording this very podcast. Well, there's no way around it. Yes, I was a guest on some podcast, but this is totally different. And that voice, is my voice great for a podcast? I don't think so. By the way, one of my followers left me a quite interesting comment. This person said, "You have such a mafia voice." I guess that's one of the reasons I decided to do that. Throughout my photographic journey, I went from landscape to travel, from travel to street, from street to, yes, whatever I'm doing right now. And I guess this podcast is another depiction of this, I think it's safe to say, reckless approach. I have always been a writer. I love this slow, turtle-like pace of writing. I love writing, rewriting, and editing. When I record this podcast, I don't have such a luxury. So, please, my photographic friend, I would really appreciate if you could find enough patience to enjoy my thought and this Eastern European accent. And I really hope we'll become good friends. Before I start, I would like to say a few words about my friends, Karen, Take, and Tomasz, our boss. What a privilege to be in such a great company. So, if you don't have enough time to listen to every single episode, feel free to skip my part. I'm sure Karen, Take, and Tomasz will provide you with enough cool stuff and entertainment. It should last for an entire week. Okay, enough of this rant. So where do I start? Photography is such a difficult subject. And one of the reasons is that because it reaches all areas of our lives. I love a quote by Berg Osel who said, "Photography is a love affair with life." Let me repeat this. Photography is a love affair with life. Come on, who doesn't want to have an affair? Well, of course, I'm kidding right now, but there is so much truth to it. Over the years, I have been working with many students, and usually the way they start, and I started the same way, is that we look up to these photographic legends. You know, we are obsessing over the same historical names. And there is nothing wrong with this, as long as we approach this as a form of visual education, maybe some inspiration, as the first step toward discovering ourselves. Quite often I hear, "I wish I could shoot like Ansel Adams or Cartier-Bresson." Please feel free to put your favorite photographer here. And there are lots of good things about it. We have somebody to look up to. But this is also a trap. There is a trap in this thinking. When I look on the internet, I see that we are becoming so obsessed about being like them, shooting like them, thinking like them, that we forget about ourselves. We forget who we are. But you, my friend, have to be honest. Who you are as a person and a photographer. I ask myself this question quite often. Yes, of course, learn and study from others, but let's not try to replicate and try to be who we are not. What if you, my friend, hold something deep and powerful inside? Maybe your feelings, maybe the way you see. And if you combine it with hard work, it could lead you to a truly amazing visual discoveries. So what's your point, Olaf? Don't dismiss photographic you. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was working with my student in Barcelona. His name is Robert. And we started shooting on the streets in the morning. And for the first 2 hours, as we were shooting, we quickly found out that, well, it didn't work. Robert could not take any good image. So we decided to sit down, have a coffee, and talk about it. So Robert opened up about his family history, about his relationship with his father. And as we discussed the subject, he told me a very, very interesting thought. He told me that he has this amazing dreams, very rich, visually powerful. So I told Robert, as we walk on the streets of Barcelona, just forget about photography in a traditional sense. Whenever you see any visual that would remind you your dream or your dreams, just start the process from there. We could not believe the results. Some images that Robert shot this afternoon were absolutely jaw-dropping. So why am I telling you this story? Because photography is very personal. And we too often dismiss this fact. So if you add what you have inside with a dose of visual discipline, self-reflection, and of course hard work, we can achieve amazing things. Yes, sometimes we fail, sometimes we'll succeed. But it's very important to dip into your own vision. So on this thought, let me leave you with a quote from N.J. Gibson, which I absolutely love. Shoot with passion. Shoot what you love. Otherwise, it's just a picture. We have enough of those. So thank you so much for listening today. And keep in mind that you can go to photographyradio.com. Please leave a note, comment, suggestion. And I guess we will meet next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. Hit subscribe on your podcast app. It would mean a lot for us to have you as our regular listener. Head over to photographyradio.com to drop your suggestion for future editions of Photography Radio or simply to say hello. We would absolutely love to hear from you. In the meantime, have a wonderful night and we will be back with more photography in your ears very soon.